with PharoahNFL and the Severe Raider. The realest show for Raider Nation. 2 points of view. One verdict. You decide.
We are back, man. After a fun-filled weekend in Vegas, man, we have a great show lined up, man. We're going to talk about the draft, all the good stuff. We appreciate everybody coming through. Severe, I'm going to blame this on Severe. He was watching a Laker game. I'm just going to let y'all know. He was watching a Laker game. I was like, Severe, where you at? I'm around the corner. I'll be right there. Nah, I'm messing with you, man. Nah, hey, man, we appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. You already know. Man, we just came back from Vegas, man. So we're trying to get back into the flow of things. It's still going to be the 50-50 show. Got a lot to talk about. You already know Severe got a lot to talk about. He got a lot to say, man. But let's get into the chat, man. I already know y'all talking shit, man, as usual, man. but you know, my guy, Angelo in the building, man. I appreciate you coming through.
Salute to Angelo, my guy.
My guy, appreciate you coming through. Raider Resistance, Digital Press, one of the best IGs out there. Salute everyone cooking like Anthony Edwards right now. Woo! Yeah, that's
man.
The new young gun in the NBA, man. He's ready to take the league by storm if he hasn't already.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's a whole different type of show. And maybe it might be coming soon. You never know. J&N Galindo time about to change to 12 p.m. I don't know what you mean on that.
Oh, we're talking about the. He thought it's the.
I guess I'll give you a little bit of. Yeah, I was a little late to that one, but I give you one. I give you that. I give you that. You know what I mean? You clown.
It ain't like we never did no 12 p.m. show either.
Jimothy Longstaff says.
Bro, we can't.
This dude. Hey, B plus draft. Best I ever seen from the Raiders in a while. Okay. All right, well, we'll get into it in a second, man. Okay. My guy, Space Beast, he says, after a wild road trip to Vegas, the band returns, home days confused to what brought them. Nah, for real, man. That shit, man. I ain't gonna lie, like, that was shocking. Man, the Raiders always find a way. Like, they find a way. Like, there's always something, but I don't think it's, you know what? Well, I think y'all gonna be surprised of what I have to say. You guys are not probably gonna be surprised what Severe has to say.
Surprised at all, bro. Not gonna be surprised at all.
Raider Smoke says, he says Severe want to catch the end of the Laker game.
Bro, I was watching that shit on my phone, bro. That shit was up bad.
89. Hey, Raider Smoke starts the show right, man. My guy, Raiders. Appreciate you for the super chat. He says 1, 2, 3, Cancun. All love Severe, but it's Dub Nation.
Nah, man, I let him get his in. You know, because last 2 times I was in the playoffs, the Lakers sent that ass home. So you know, I let him go ahead and get his shot in.
It is what it is. It is what it is, man. Raider P says the best tight end, best guard center, and a host of dogs. Good drafting, Mr. T. AK.
I pity the fool that think it was a good draft.
Nah, man. What's good, everybody, man? Hey, look, let's get into it. Before we even start the show, let's talk about the draft party, man, like in Vegas, man. That was a great experience, by the way. We were glad we were able to do it. I just want to say I had a great time in Vegas with Paul, Severe, 808, you know what I mean? Special thanks to John from Ahern Hotel. The staff was very hospitable. Man, like, great experience. Hey, y'all need to check out Ahern Hotel, by the way. It's a hidden gem in Las Vegas. From restaurants to the rooms, everything. Like, it was a good time. But obviously the draft was a little. First reaction, I'm not gonna lie. First reaction, I was kind of like, come on, man. I was ready for a trade up. You know what I mean? I was ready for, like, oh my God, we about to get one of these quarterbacks. I know we're gonna get one of these quarterbacks, but that didn't. I think that disappointment kind of, you know, fell into the draft. But, you know, after a couple of days, I kind of calmed down a little bit. But yeah, man, I just want to thank everybody that was able to make the whole, you know, Vegas experience doing a live show and all that good stuff, man, happen. Hey, I have nothing but good things to say about Ahern Hotel, the staff, the people over there, John,
Yeah.
808, Severe. Shout out to you coming out, and we had a great show. We had a great show, man. So if y'all want to go ahead and check that out, man. It's on our channels. You know what I mean? Y'all can see the quality of the presentation, man. We made that happen. But yeah, man. Appreciate Ahern and everybody that was able to make that happen.
Yeah, facts, man. I definitely want to second that as well, man. John over at Ahern did his thing, man. Really took care of us. Everything we needed. He made sure he was right there. The staff there was real cool, man. Like constantly checking up on us, making sure we had, if we needed water, any kind of refreshments or anything like that, man. They really take care of us. And Ahern, yeah, like you said, man, it's a hidden gem, man. It's like it's kind of in the cut, man. The parking situation was real smooth, man. They got. It got a real well-known restaurant right next to it. I think it's called the Golden Steer or something like that. But it's like a famous restaurant over there. Paul came through, 805 Raider. He came through, man, and really did his thing. It was our first time really working together on that kind of scale, man. So, the chemistry was real good for it being our first time, man. So, yeah, just shout out to everybody involved, man. Shout out to Pharaoh. Pharaoh was the the producer, man. He was the gopher. He was the electrician. He was all of that, bro.
Hey, man. Hey, look, I couldn't have done it with anybody that was involved. So like it was a team effort. But just want to thank everybody that was able to tune in and enjoy the live draft. And shout out to Marty Mart, man, coming through to Vegas as well. That was kind of cool to see him. We always see him in the chat commenting and all that. I know he's probably going to watch this, or he's watching this right now, or probably watch this later. But yeah, he was able to come through and give us some breaking news before we even got the news. That
man, he was on the Schefter. He was on the Schefter. He was like,
I think was he the one that told us like. I think he was the one that told us that Michael Penix was going to Atlanta. Like we
was the one that told us
waiting
first,
for it
bro.
to be announced, and he goes, "Michael Penix going to Atlanta." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, man, he told us first. And he told us that, and he told us that we tried to trade up to get him, and we couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I was like, that sounds like some. He saw that on Twitter. That's some bullshit. Then that shit happened, bro. I was like, damn. Yeah. They really did us like that.
Yeah, but it is what it is. But let's get into it, man. Let's actually get into the draft, man. The draft. Like, what are our final thoughts on that? Like the recap. Obviously, when we were going live, we had some instant reaction. We reacted it right on the spot. For me, it was the disappointment of not getting the quarterback. That's pretty much what I got from most of it. From at least my first reaction, I'm like, man, we weren't able to get a quarterback. We weren't able to add to this room because I'm not 100% confident in Minshew and AOC. You can't tell me that these are guys that you're like, oh yeah, we're gonna win, 15. We're gonna go win a lot of games with these guys. There's still a big what if with these guys, and I felt like maybe we probably should have just added some more talent to that room, add some competition. I feel like it was gonna be a win-win. Obviously, the first round didn't happen, but we weren't able to do it in the later rounds. I think that was like a big disappointment. But as far as Brock Bowers, let's start with the first round. Like the first round, Brock Bowers, he's a great player. He's a great player. We're not going to take that away from him. He is a great player. It was just like shocking because we had other needs and we felt like there were other players that we could have went to and we could have grabbed. But he's a great player. And I'll go out and say this, and this is probably the most obvious thing to say. He's better than Michael Mayer. Like he's better than he's more explosive. He's a bigger playmaker. He's versatile, faster. You name it, he got it. He's kind of like it's early. He hasn't touched the NFL football field yet, but you can see the potential and the talent that he has, and what a lot of people seen going into the draft. A lot of people thought he was going to go in the top 7, top 10, let alone be there at 13. So that's why a lot of people, and we were saying it too, best player available, Tom Telesco special. But, it is what it is.
We thought that was a Tom Telesco special until, we're not like that.
Yeah. But, you know what? I like the versatility. I like that we have a superstar in the making. You know, it's early to say. I don't want to say call him a superstar, but like you see the immense talent. You know, Devontae Adams is not going to be here forever. You know, Devontae Adams could as well be gone after this season. Like, let's be honest. And after that, what Jacoby Myers is going to be like? Nah, you know what I mean. He's more of a role player than a guy that you want to feature in your offense. Michael Mayer, I think he could be a good player, but do you think he could be a great player? I don't know if I see that right now, but it's a possibility. Who knows? But what are your thoughts on round one, man? Brock Bowers. We're not going to go through the whole draft, but let's go over the big picks.
So, my thoughts on round one is like, as you already said, Brock Bowers, he's a great player, great prospect. I think that if you're looking at the two tight ends we currently have on our roster, the top two tight ends on our roster right now, if you look at them just purely as prospects, Brock Bowers is a better prospect than Michael Mayer. We haven't seen him in an NFL game yet, so we're just, a lot of this is projection, right?
Right.
I'm sure, after we got done drafting, most people would have told you that Josh Allen, pass rusher, was a better prospect than Max Crosby, but who turned out to be a better player. So then we get into this who's a better prospect, who's a better player thing. Until you touch that field, it's all projection at that point. But I relate it like this, and I said this on another live, right? Like let's say you have a wife, or a girlfriend, right? And your dishwasher isn't working, and she says, "Honey, can you go to the appliance store? Here's here's $200. I need you to buy me a new dishwasher. The dishwasher isn't working." And you come back home with a brand new microwave. It's like, look at this new microwave I have. Like I couldn't pass up this deal. They had this microwave on, so this microwave is usually $400, and it was on sale for $200. It was such a great deal, I couldn't pass it up. But no, we have a microwave that works fine. I didn't ask for a microwave. I asked for a dishwasher. Dishwasher's still broken, but at least we got this new microwave. So that's what it's like, right? It's like a deal was he that good that we just had to ignore the needs we had? And it's not like it was a situation where if we addressed the needs that we had, like in previous years, we would have had to have reached for a player. There were players that were well deserving to be selected at the point that we were selecting at positions of need, and we elected to completely go away from that and picked a player at a position that we don't need. Think about this. In any of the mock drafts, like this anybody in the chat, when you guys were doing mock drafts, right? Think about it. If you do a 7-round mock draft, how many people in a 7-round mock draft, how many of you took a tight end at any point in your 7-round mock drafts? Mm-hmm. And in any of the mock drafts me and you and Mike did, at any point did we ever take a tight end? No, because tight end wasn't a need, because we just used resources last year to move up for a tight end last year, a tight end that some people said was the best tight end last year. So we come right back around this year and take another tight end. We had Devontae Adams. We have perimeter weapons. We have Devontae Adams. We have Jacoby Myers. Devontae, some people say, is the best receiver in the league. He's at least top 5. Jacoby is probably a top 5, number 2 receiver in the league. We have weapons on the outside. Then we had a tight end that some people said was the best tight end in last year's draft. And we have a slot receiver that a lot of people were really excited about his development because of what we've been hearing from Devontae Adams. So we have all these weapons already. Yet we still, once again, go for another weapon when the weapons that we had last year didn't really produce because of the guy throwing them the ball. So it's like the pick, it just didn't make any sense. It just didn't make any sense. It's great talent, but you know what you do when you have great talent at a position that you don't need? What do? You leverage that great talent and you pick up more resources. And we didn't do that.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And can y'all hear me in the chat? I know I know Daniel Kim was saying that my mic seemed low. I seemed like I was far away from the mic. Let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me. But yeah, man, I get that 100%, man. The other side to it is that it's a luxury pickup. You know what I mean? But then there's the other side is like he instantly becomes our second best weapon on offense. It's Devontae, and then it's all projection because he hasn't done anything yet.
Exactly.
But from what you see, what he's doing on the football field, from what these experts are saying, and where he was supposed to be projected to go, but when you got 6 quarterbacks going in the top 12 picks, there's going to be some good talent dropping to you. And it so happened that Brock Bowers dropped down to number 13, and Telesco didn't hesitate to draft him. So it is what it is. It's grown on me a little bit. Like, hey, look, he's instantly number 2 best weapon on offense.
Yeah.
And
well, I don't know. Like I said, Jacoby Myers is a top 5 number 2 receiver in the league. And look at all the number 2 receivers in the league. He's a top 5 number 2.
Okay.
Without question. It's maybe T. Higgins, Devontae Smith. He's a top 5 number 2. So does he come in?
I got to wait and see. But just from what I'm seeing, what he did at Georgia and how they used him, they used him everywhere. They used him on slot. They used him on the outside. They handed the ball off to him. You know what I mean? And you know, the Raiders did that a little bit with Jacoby Myers, but I don't look at Jacoby as an explosive option, like ready to break the game just out of nowhere. I think, and that's what Brock Bowers' reputation has been in college. Like, he's always been that guy, the dude, like everywhere he's went. And we'll see, man. If he turns out to be one of the best tight ends in the league, then we can talk about how it's a great pick. Right now, it's disappointing that the Raiders couldn't get a quarterback. But hey, at the end of the day, like, it takes 2 to tango, and it seemed like no one really wanted to make a deal. Like, no one, like, the only trade up that happened was Minnesota Vikings going up 1 spot to get JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
So there's nothing for us to compare it to. There's not like, oh, look at that team. They went up and got, you know what I mean? Now, if you really wanted to get on the Raiders, you could talk about the year prior where they can easily went and got C.J. Stroud, because we seen what it took to get to that spot and then get C.J. Stroud. So that's something that you could critique. But this year, it was like, man, like,
I mean, but
Atlanta, yeah.
But by that same token, right? We know what it took to go up last year, and we know what it would have taken to go up. We don't know what it would have taken to go up this year because no trades were made. But we also don't know what how hard the Raiders tried to move up. You know, they were in discussions with Washington for number 2. That didn't happen. They were also in discussions with Falcons for number 8. That didn't happen. And I know he's not top 5 receiver. He's top 5 number 2. Is a difference.
That's what he's trying to say. He was trying to say he's a top 5 number 2 receiver.
He is a top 5. No, he's not a top 5 receiver. No, he's definitely not a top 5 receiver. He's definitely a top 5 number 2.
Let's think about it. Like, there's T. Higgins,
yes. Devontae Smith.
Jalen
Waddle.
Jaden Waddle. Did Evans go back to Tampa Bay?
Yeah, Evans is number 1. Is a number 1 receiver.
Yeah, but who's the other guy that's on the side?
He's hurt all the time.
He's hurt. Is he hurt currently?
I think he finished the year hurt.
Okay. Man. But yeah, man. It's look. But the main point is what he's trying to make is that Myers is up there as a good number 2 receiver in the league. Like, it's come on, like, it's obvious. Like, the Raiders have a really good receiving core, and then to add another weapon to the offense, it's seen like as a luxury. We don't really need that, especially with Michael Mayer taken in the 2nd round. I get it 100%.
Traded up to get.
You said traded up to get who?
Traded up to get him. Yeah, you talking about Chris Godwin? Chris Godwin is hurt all the time. So I mean, I would honestly I'd take Myers over Chris Godwin. I would take one person we did forget about was Puka.
At his best, like when he's healthy.
I would take Myers over Chris Godwin. Yeah, Chris and Myers is not only is he a receiver, but he's better in the run game as well. Chris Godwin stays hurt. Chris Godwin at his peak, like when Chris Godwin was killing, Chris Godwin was better.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't think
Chris Godwin had a down year last year, and he was hurt all last year. So
I don't think Jacoby ever put up. Has he ever had 1,000 yards? in a season. I
I
don't think he's
don't.
ever
I
had
don't.
1,000 yards, so it's kind of hard to.
But look at his quarterback play. Like you're saying, if you put Jacoby with Tom Brady, or you put Jacoby with uh, with forget my man's name, Baker Mayfield, what Baker Mayfield was doing last year, Jacoby puts up numbers. He's like, well, who's the best? Who's the best quarterback Jacoby has played with? Like early in this year, he had Tom Brady, and then Tom Brady left right after that.
Mac Jones, yeah,
Mac Jones, Jimmy Garoppolo, and he was pulling up numbers with Jimmy Garoppolo, bro. It was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
come on now.
No, I like Myers, but I don't see him as a number one. Like he's clearly not. I don't know. I just don't see number one in him. Like that's not.
That's not number one. But
That's
Chris
not number
Godwin,
one,
I mean, Chris Godwin.
But he's a good
Chris Godwin's not
complementary
number one.
receiver. Like if you have a number one receiver, he's a good. Like it's a perfect combination. But I will say this: where's their speed? There's no speed on offense. We have zero speed on offense. That's gonna be interesting how the Raiders kind of like deal with that. I know we picked up some undrafted free agents or whatever, but White Tyson says we don't really have that many weapons. We have Tay and Myers. Slot is a hole. Jacobs is gone. Bowers is an impact playmaker on offense. Okay.
So we have Tay, who's considered the best receiver in the league. So even if you want to say Jacoby is top 10, let's say Jacoby's top 10 number 2 receiver. He's a top 10 number 2 receiver. All right, we took a guy last year who I'm not a fan of. All you guys were saying this guy was good. Everybody was telling me Trey Tucker this, Trey Tucker that. Now all of a sudden Trey Tucker ain't no good because we got somebody else. So Devontae's been singing his praises. All you guys were singing his praises until we drafted Bowers. Now y'all trying to justify the Bowers pick by Dirt and Trey Tucker. Zamir White, Zamir White was a better player last year than Josh Jacobs. That's just what it is. Zamir White averaged 6.5 yards a carry last year. Better than Josh Jacobs. So you let Josh Jacobs walk for a reason because he wasn't productive. Later in the year, when they both had opportunities, Zamir White was a better player. That's just what it is. And when Michael Mayer was getting healthy toward the end of the year, Michael Mayer was turning into a productive player. And then he just ended up getting that turf toe situation, I think, toward the end of the year, and he didn't finish out the year. But when he started coming on after AP took over, he was an extremely productive player. And that's the main thing, is that we don't have a QB, so that's just what it is. So you're a lot of times you're only as good as a guy that's throwing you the ball. And right now we don't have anybody that I would consider a top half starter in the league.
Yeah. And you know what I think? I think a lot of people, when we first reacted to the pick, they were thinking that we were getting on the player. I think that was the main thing that people were kind of confused. They're like, man, like what are y'all talking about? This dude is this and that and the third. I think what it was is that we felt like there was other talent that the Raiders could have gotten. Even if they felt like Bowers was the best player available, they could have, like you mentioned, traded down and then maybe acquired more draft picks and then also still gotten a talented player in a position of need like corner or offensive line. But look, hey, at the end of the day, I'm good. At this point, I'm good. We weren't able to get the quarterback. We weren't able to trade up. And a lot of teams were trying to trade up. That's the interesting part. Like the Saints were trying to trade up and get Michael Penix. Seattle was trying to get up. Everybody swung and missed. So it wasn't just the Raiders. Yeah. So it is what it is. But I think the next pick though in the second round, but my favorite pick in the draft. Now, if you want to talk about address the need, and we got a talented player, and I didn't even think we had a chance to get him.
Yes,
it's Jackson Powers Johnson, man.
Yes.
How you feel about the Raiders getting him in the second round?
I think that was our best pick, bro. Like that literally saved our draft grade, because Tom Telesco he was about to get roughed up. He was about to get the business. Mm-hmm. So I think Jackson Powers Johnson, he's a guy that slide in perfectly. He has experience playing guard. He also has experience playing center. I think that he's going to be a natural guy to take over for when we move on eventually from Andre James. But in the meantime, most of his career at Oregon, I want to say he played guard. So he's a guy that's just slide in perfectly right on that right side and be an impact player from day one. He's right. Big, strong guy, physical, athletic enough to run a zone scheme, but also, strong enough and nasty enough to run the gap scheme if we need to, mix that in as well. So I just think that the fact that we were able to get him where we were able to get him, I think that is a steal. I mean, it was a
Huge.
steal getting Brock Bowers where we got him at as well
Hmm.
because of the value of what he is as a player. Just that, like I said, we didn't need that.
Plug and play starters, though. Be honest with you,
Yeah,
plug and play
yeah. Nah, but
starters.
both of them should start day one. Both of those guys should start day. If Brock Bowers don't start day one, bro, you know I'm coming in here talking mad, bro. You would not be able to stop. You gonna just have to mute your mic and listen to me rant for an hour because I'm talking
Oh
so
yeah.
much stuff.
Nah, you're not gonna let it go for sure, for sure. But like, yeah, he has experience playing pretty much all three interior positions. It was such a huge huge fit as far as need and talented player. Like, and going into the offseason, we were like, man, it's time to replace Andre James.
Yeah.
But then that didn't happen. You seen the guard, because obviously if we let James go, we would have had Dylan Parham going to center. That means we would have probably been in the market for a guard. But you seen that guard. I'll give this to Telesco. He played chess with that one. I respect that one. He was like, we're not playing that much for these guards. We'll sign James to, an extension, which was not too expensive compared to the guard market. But then they end up getting his replacement eventually. So he's gonna be a guard starting out. But we'll see how that shakes out, because it was funny because I seen Ian Rappaport said that the Raiders called Andre James to tell him that his spot is safe. But like we were joking around earlier, we were like, "Hey, bro, you better not get hurt, man. You better not,
Bro,
you better not
get a hang. You better not get a hangnail.
You better not come late to practice. You better not come late to practice." If you look at the O-line coach wrong, Jackson Powers, you
Jackson, get in there.
Yeah, nah, you in there, man. Nah. But yeah, great pickup. And we're not gonna go through every draft pick. I mean, you guys obviously have been hearing all types of draft shows and all this type of stuff. What other did any other picks impress you, or did you have any question marks when it comes to the rest of the draft? Like before we move it along.
Yeah, so man, so Dylan Lobby, I don't know how to say the dude's name. It's Dylan Lobby. I heard it pronounced 5 different ways, but I've been talking about this dude for months, since like months before the Senior Bowl, since like the offseason basically first started. He's a dude who I kind of targeted, earmarked for us. He's a perfect third down back. He's a guy that can run the ball. He's a great receiving option. I think that he's going to be a dynamic weapon for us. He's also a guy that adds some kick return value as well. So, and one of the things that Telesco talked about in his presser in terms of, what the draft was, and he, this in particular, he was talking about the new kickoff rules, that he wants to have some diversity back there. So not only like running back style returners, but also wide receiver style returners, which is why we kind of made a move there as well after the draft with the guy that we picked up. But I just think Dylan Lott, man, I think he's a guy that's going to be a dynamic weapon for us, man. And he might not take Amir Abdullah's spot this year, possibly, but he might not take it this year. But in the future, he's a guy that I definitely think will make an impact on this team.
But yeah, either way, you know what I like him so much is the fact that, like, with all the special teams rule changes and all that, we get a guy that literally adds value in special teams. And you just mentioned it kind of briefly, him returning kicks. He's returned 2 kicks for 100 yards in college for a touchdown, and also 2 punt returns for 92 yards and 58 yards for a touchdown. So he gives you value on both spots, either at punt return or kick returner. So that's a plus, especially with the rule changes. This year, that's added value, at least to begin with, to earn him a spot on the roster. So I like that, and obviously, he gives you that in today's NFL, man, that third down row is huge, man. That receiving back, that's a big role. But you know what surprised me, how well Zamir White was catching the ball out the backfield. So.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, hey, he was waiting for that opportunity. He was like, hey, there's no way they're going to take me off the field. I'm going to catch everything. I don't know if y'all noticed that when Zamir White came into the game, I don't think he dropped a pass. Like,
at all. Not at all.
Not at all. But yeah, that's going to be an interesting spot, like position battle. And I think Zamir got it locked up. I think Madison and him are going to probably split carries. And then you're going to have, like, the other running backs kind of battle up the last spots. But yeah, that was kind of an interesting pickup. And then after that, it was just, defense, a couple of DBs, some later round picks, all that good stuff. But yeah, man, I think Raider Smoke has something to say, man. My guy Raider Smoke in the building, man. Appreciate you for this another super chat. He says, you got to draft for need, but you can't pass up special for need. Falcons did us dirty, though. Exactly.
Man,
that's why if y'all was watching
dirty.
If y'all was watching the draft show, we talked about like the worst. I think it was like the worst draft in the first round or worst draft picks. I felt like, man, what were Falcons thinking drafting Michael Penix, man, when they just signed Kirk Cousin for like
that's best player available. Remember his best player. This everybody telling me his best player available. What are you talking about? Who cares if they just gave a guy some money? You gotta go best player available. That's what everybody telling me. I don't know what I'm talking about because I'm saying you gotta go best player available at a position of need. But they telling me you gotta go. So they had Michael Penix as the number 2 guy on their board, according to them. So that's a guy they couldn't pass up because remember you got to go best player available. Remember that. So it's like, come on.
Raider Smoke also says, I forgot to read this part right here. He says, love the second round pick, Brady incoming. Laugh out loud. I'm just saying. Man, if that were to happen, I don't know how to feel about that, man. That's a little too much. I can't handle that. If Brady were to come to the Raiders at 46 years old, I don't want him to come to us and then show us how old he looks at 46 years. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want it. Let him stay retired. If he wants to own whatever team or whatever, just don't come to the Raiders. Do it somewhere else. I understand he's an all-time great, but he's 46 years old and he hasn't played in the NFL for 2 years. What do you think that's going to do? You know what I mean? When players stay away from the game for that long, it does something to them, and they lose a step. Football speed is real. So that's my take on it. But I know you joking, Raider Smoke, but I'm just like, come on, please don't put it in the universe, man. I don't want to hear that, man. I don't want to hear that.
Mark Davis might do some stuff like that, bro. Mark Davis would be like, Tom, I
know Mark Davis would do it instantly, man. He's like, oh my God, 6, 7 rings. Like, how can we pass this up? We need a quarterback.
We couldn't. Tom was the best free agent quarterback left. We went best player available in free agency, guys.
Come on, man. But that being said, man, let's move it along, man. Hey, man, it's that time, man.
69.
Flag on the play.
He was giving them the business.
Man, it's flag on the play, man. And this week I'm gonna give the floor to Severe, man, and let the people know what deserved flag on the play this week, man.
So we talk about the Brock Bowers pick, right? We're talking about best player available.
Right.
Now everybody's saying, to build a team, you got to take the best player available no matter what. No. How you build a team properly is that if you have a player that's great value that falls to you, that's not at the position of need, you leverage that player for more draft capital, move back into the proper range where you can get a guy at a position of need, and then add more talent later. That's what a smart GM would have done. But that's not what we did. And there were opportunities to do that. So, you go ahead, you go ahead and show the people that we had opportunities.
All right. So what it says here is kind of cut off right here, but what it pretty much says is Ian Rappaport, right? He said it's worth noting the Rams and Colts, among others, were calling about trading up. The call stopped when Brock Bowers went. So pretty much he's saying that the Raiders could have traded down.
Exactly.
And just to remind y'all where the Colts and Rams were picking, the Colts were picking at number 15 and the Rams were picking at number 19. Yes. So the Raiders literally could have traded down 2 spots, got some extra draft capital, and still drafted another position. If Brock Bowers was still there, then maybe you get him. I'm sure that the Colts were probably trading up to get Brock Bowers because I think that they needed an offensive piece and an offensive weapon. I think they eventually drafted a receiver in the second round. I think A.D. Mitchell. So so most likely it would have been him. Maybe the Rams wanted to trade to get Brock Bowers possibly at that spot. Who knows?
Absolutely.
But yeah, man. How do you guys feel about that? We're calling it a flag because we felt like, man, what was the trade offer?
Yeah.
Was it a second round pick?
Man, right?
Was it a second? You think they would throw in a second round pick, a third round pick, some mid round picks, whatever the case may be? Would that been a good enough deal for you to drop 2 spots or potentially 4 spots with the Rams? 4 or 5 spots.
Yeah.
It is what it is, man. That this is this week's flag on a play, man. Tom Telesco refuses to trade down, and also he's never traded down ever.
Yeah, bro.
He's never traded down. That's something to pay attention to. But that being said, we got a great player. It's all good. We're not gonna stay negative or whatever. But we're just like, what? Like, oh man, didn't we get Michael Mayer last year? Like, hey man, it is what it is, man. Because if this was a situation, where it was a quarterback, right? Let's say if it was a quarterback and we had our franchise guy, right? We obviously not going to take a quarterback as talented as he is, the best player available. We're not going to take a quarterback. We're probably going to what? We're going to trade down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or we're going to go to another position. Or if the talent level is too, is too big, or you feel like, maybe it's best to maybe grab some. But that's a tough example because it's a quarterback position and teams are going to more likely trade up to get a quarterback. But what I'm saying is that, like, man, the Raiders had an opportunity to trade down and they passed on it. We'll see, man. Because the next pick, I think, who went after Bowers? I believe it was like offensive line, right?
Talise Fuaga.
Yeah, Talise Fuaga, man. So
Talise Fuaga went, and then Latu went.
Yeah,
and then like some other defense. So we had opportunity to move back, right? So assuming everything stays the same, right? Assuming it stays exactly the same, we lose out on Talise Fuaga, but we still have Amarius Mims there, and then we still have every cornerback on the board. Quinion Mitchell still, every defensive player is on the board if we trade back to 15 at that point, because first defensive player was taken at 15 was led to Latu, who I've been saying for a while, outside of Quinion Mitchell, was the best defensive player in this draft. Apparently, the NFL agree with me. So we could have, we weren't going to take him, but we could have opportunity to get Quinion Mitchell or to get Terrion Arnold. I know a lot of people in the chat have been singing the praises of Terrion Arnold. I was a Quinion Mitchell guy. He didn't go till 22 anyway, so we had our opportunity to get a lockdown corner on the outside, a guy that is at a position of need, not like we don't need a guy. This is at a position of need, and what's funny is people watch. I guarantee you that people will say this. I don't even gotta look at the chat. People are like, but we have Jacorian Bennett, but yeah, but we also have Michael Mayer. So just knock the nonsense off. Like Quinion Mitchell is a much better player than the difference between Jacorian Bennett and Quinion Mitchell is miles different than the difference between Michael Mayer and Brock Bowers. Michael Mayer is much closer to Brock Bowers than Jacorian Bennett is to Quinion Mitchell.
But you know what? Let's hear from the people, because earlier today I put out a chat, or I put out a poll, and I asked Raider Nation. I said, "Hey, grade the Raiders draft class." Let me go ahead and put this on the screen. See if y'all can see this, man. Hold on 1 second. No, y'all can't see this. Man, hold on. I wish y'all could see this, man. Hold on 1 second. Oh, man, y'all can't see this. But look, so 34% said it was a great draft. 56% said it was a good draft, a B, and a C. Solid draft, 8%, and then D or F, 2%. So, Severe, if you had to give the draft a grade, what would you give it, man? Where will you be at?
I'll give him a D. I give him a C.
Give him a C.
Give him a
Solid
C.
draft. Solid draft.
Give him a C. It was a solid draft. It was a solid draft. We got 2 starters out of it for sure. Brock Bowers and Jackson Powers Johnson are starters for sure, or they better be starters, especially Brock Bowers. So yeah, let this man not start, bro. I'm telling you.
No,
I swear to you,
Jackson Powers too. What you mean?
He got to start. He got. Well, I don't think we
Yeah.
don't. We have like if he can't beat out Jordan Meredith, bro, it's we in for a world of hurt. So I think we got 2 stars out of the draft. I don't think anybody else in this draft is going to start. DeCamerion Richardson is not a guy I was really that big of a fan of. He's an athlete. He's a guy that we can develop. Hopefully he does develop. Delmar Glay is not a guy who I'm
As of
really a
right
fan.
now, he has a shot. I mean, he has a shot to compete for that outside spot. But I think they're probably going to
Yes.
get a veteran. I don't know if you
I
see
mean, they
it
have
coming.
face on. They still have face on.
They have face on, but
Um,
he's kind of like it's not like you could say him with 100% confidence. Oh yeah, he's gonna start on the outside. Nah, like I think
no.
he might have a little bit of leg up because he's a veteran. But if
To let's go acquire them previously.
exactly, so it's a possibility that like he'll have a shot at starting. It really depends on how well he kind of like hits the ground running, how well he takes the coaching. Because I think a lot of I think he's like one of those dudes where he athletically that's not the question, but it's the fact that like the other part of the game where like one of the biggest issues he had I think was like making plays on the ball or whatever, you know what I mean? Like that's something that's kind of like man, in NFL like we need that like
Kind of
you gotta be
important.
able to, it's kind of important, man, to play in that corner
Kinda
position. You know what I
important.
mean? You gotta be able to turn your head around and hit the ball away. You know what I mean? Or at least get an interception every now and then.
Yeah.
But
And
we'll see how it shakes
like I was
out.
saying, we had another corner previously who was a kind of an athletic freak, but needed a lot of work at the position. Well, actually, technically, we have 2. I mean, we had Jacorian Bennett last year, but before that, we had Isaiah Johnson, a guy we drafted, who was actually even more athletic than this guy, and Isaiah Johnson never really panned out. So I'm hoping for the best out of DeCamerion Richardson, but he's not a guy, like I said, I wasn't really a fan of the pick. I think there were better corners on the board, and we passed on them.
Roseville Gunna, appreciate the super chat, my guy.
Somebody about to get cooked, bro.
He said,
Somebody
T
about
Severe, I question your nourished knowledge edge if you think it was bad draft. Draft is for bipodling team. Free agent is for filling in need. Be better.
I got this dude so mad he can't even type right now. He's just over there like So first of all, no. You want to build through the draft. This is what all the best teams say. You build through the draft. You backfill whatever needs you can address in the draft through free agency. But ideally you want to build through the draft. Know what we did already through the draft? We already got a tight end in the draft last year. We wasted draft capital trading up to get a tight end that everybody said is a very good player last year. So this year we drafted another tight end who also cannot block. I don't care what people say. I went back and watched the games. He's not a blocker. So we drafted another guy, at the same position already. Know what needs we didn't address? What positions we need to improve at? Quarterback. Did we address quarterback in the draft? No, we didn't. We need to address tackle. Did we get a starter at tackle in the draft? No, we didn't. We got a guy that's likely not going to start at tackle. So did we get a starter at cornerback in the draft? No, we got all these ifs and maybes at positions of need. But the one position that we didn't need, because we addressed it last year in the draft, it was the one position we decided to go waste a high pick on. It makes no sense.
Appreciate the super chat.
I question your football knowledge.
From Roseville Gunner, man. I appreciate you, my guy. Space B says, Severe is such a rhino, man. Hey, man, they coming for you today, man. What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Hey, man. But look, man, let's move it along, man. Let's move it along. Look, at the end of the day, look, before we move it along, hey, friendly reminder, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, but clock in. Yes. And if you're on your way out, clock out. You know what I mean? Meaning hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every time we go live and drop new content. We are going live on both our channels, so you want to make sure you subscribe to Severe Raiders channel as well as mine's. We appreciate your support. We appreciate everybody coming through and tuning in on the conversation. The chat is going crazy. We're going to put up comments on the screen. Obviously, a good way to get your comments on the screen is to put a super chat. It's a guarantee, but we'll try our best to put as much comments on the screen so we can hear from y'all, man. At the end of the day, we're trying to have a conversation with the nation. We appreciate you. Let me catch up with the chat, man. The chat is going crazy right now. Let's take it all the way back. But in the meantime, let's actually move on to notable quotables. Notable quotables, man. Hey, Severe, if you want to give the people an intro to the first notable quotable, and I'm going to go ahead and set it up.
So the first notable quotable, as we all know, the guy that is responsible, or the most responsible for making the draft what it is today, and making it the spectacle and bringing about its popularity, is one Mel Kiper Jr. And he's still one of the most respected guys in the game. Loved by some, hated by some, respected by pretty much everybody because of the work he puts in. He had some very interesting things to say about our mid-round picks, especially a guy who I think we shouldn't have drafted. But I'll let Mel Kiper talk about it.
All right. Let's see what Mel Kiper has to say.
You think about Tommy Eichenberg. Tommy Eichenberg's built for 1985, 1990. Is he built for today's NFL? Okay, that's the bottom line there. I'm not a Decameron Richardson a fan. I don't rave about him. I was shocked at his workout, but did he play like that? I didn't see it on tape field. No, so I didn't get that aspect. You think about Tommy Eichenberg.
But you know what? Hey, look, I'm just gonna quickly react to this because I didn't get a chance to watch this earlier. Look, at the end of the day, like, my guy over here is how many times has he been wrong? You know what
That's
I mean?
everybody though.
Yeah,
everybody's been wrong.
Exactly. And then he's talking about a player that was drafted in the 5th round. In the 5th round. Now, if he was talking about a player that was drafted in the 1st or 2nd round, then 100% I agree with you. But when you get a guy in the 5th round, it's going to come with certain flaws or certain risks. Either the guy is going to be super talented but needs to be coached up, or he hasn't played football for a long time, or doesn't have a lot of starter experience, or this guy, he's great against the run, but pass coverage. I think, AP, Patrick Graham, they got a player that they felt like they can coach up and they could, probably fit in that defense. So I don't got a problem with Eichenberg. I don't have a problem with the cornerback they got, Richardson. I don't have a problem with it because I think they have a plan for them, and we'll see how it shakes out. But this dude, man, he's been wrong so many times, man. It's hilarious, it's laughable. And not to knock him too, because it's everybody's been wrong. Everybody's been wrong. It's draft is a crapshoot at the end of the day. So I'm not gonna take this and take it serious, to be honest with you. But how did you take it, Severe? What's the message that you want to tell the people?
So Decameron, I can see. I wasn't a fan of the pick. I think there are better cornerbacks on the board, but I can see, hey, taking a chance on a guy with that type of athleticism, who played in SEC, who has that kind of speed and that kind of arm length. I can see you taking a chance on him. Tommy Eichenberg was a waste of a pick, in my opinion. Sure, the guy played at Ohio State. He makes a lot of tackles. Coming forward, he's a very good player. But the NFL is a passing league, and he's a guy that he struggles in coverage. He has a liability in coverage. You basically drafted a bigger Luke Masterson, basically, like he's a guy who's going to be a liability. He's not going to really the one thing we struggled at the linebacker position at the second level is defending tight ends. He doesn't help you at all do that. He helps you stop the run. But we already have a guy in that mode in Robert Spillane. So do we really need another one? What we need is a guy that can potentially replace Divine Diablo as a guy that's going to be more of a twitchy linebacker, more of a coverage guy. Tommy Eichenberg is a guy he's stiff in the hips. He's not fast. Like I said, he struggles in space. Coming forward, he's good. But that's the only situation he's any good. Other than that, he's not good at all. So, people talking about he played for Ohio State or he started Ohio State. I don't care about none of that. There have been plenty of guys that started at great programs. Rolando McClain was a starter at Alabama for years, right? Nakobe Dean was a starter for the Georgia Bulldogs. You know, people consider him one of the best linebackers in the league, and he's struggling right now because, you know, he can't handle people in space. And Tommy Eichenberg is a guy who's going to kind of fall victim to that same situation.
Hey, but maybe Patrick Graham and AP are looking at Robert Spillane and being like, okay, we took Robert Spillane, who wasn't good in coverage, and we turn him into a playmaker in his defense. We get a guy like Eichenberger, where you know he's good against the run. Maybe we'll be able to fit him in, plug him in on a defense. Because at the end of the day, like, later round picks at best, like, you want them to be role players.
I told y'all last year. Spillane was a good player. When everybody else was taking craps on Spillane, I told everybody who would listen, Spillane was a good player, and his struggles in coverage were being overblown. Check the tape on that. You can go to the chats, you can go to the calls, all of that stuff. I'm telling you right now, Eichenberg is not Robert Spillane.
I give you credit on CJ Stroud, but I don't know if I heard you on the Spillane one.
Oh, bro, look, we can check the tape on that, bro. You can ask anybody. Check the tape. I said it last year. I said Spillane as well.
All right.
I was one of the few.
Okay. All right. Solomon Mitchell says the kid from Air Force was solid. He's talking about Trey Taylor that was picked in the 7th round. Yeah, it's 7th round pick. You know, I feel like who did they compare him to? They compared him to the former safety for the Raiders that was a kind of like a had connection to the Patriots. I forgot. Remember he had that pick 6 in 2022. It was a DeMar Hamlin? No, not DeMar Hamlin. It's
that's dope from the Buffalo.
Yeah, that's dude from Buffalo. I'm talking about safety. They compared him to. Yeah.
Safety had connected to the Patriots. How is this a long time ago?
No, not a long time ago. Safety 2022 season. I believe he was starting for a little bit, or he came in and.
You talking about Harmon? Deron Harmon?
Deron Harmon, yeah.
But that's who Chris Harris was supposed to be, though. That's who Chris. See, but that's the thing that the kid from Air Force, like I said, he's a solid dude.
What does that tell you, though? What does that tell you if they're still going after safety and we already have like so many safeties on the roster?
Yeah, I mean they obviously have no faith in Chris Smith and Chris Harris. Chris Harris was the cornerback from the Broncos. Chris Smith, who's a Georgia Bulldog. He's a starter for Georgia. He must be good, right? Because he started on 2 national championship teams, right? Oh, he must be good. Nah, that's not how it works. But anyway, I digress. Now I like Trey Taylor. He's definitely not starting. He's definitely not going to start. But he's a guy that I think will be a special teams ace. Maybe down the line he can start, but he's another guy that he's better coming forward. He's not a guy that's really great in coverage. And this is like he played at Air Force, and he wasn't really great in coverage playing, the competition that Air Force plays. So let alone what he's going to look like against NFL caliber talent. Now, but he's a guy who's gritty. I think he has a necessary work ethic to kind of improve on his on his weaknesses. He has some very interesting family ties. I don't know if you want to get into that, but so maybe he can get some pointers. Yeah, maybe he can get some pointers.
We were talking about this earlier. We were joking around because we're like, oh yeah, he's related to Ed Reed, and then like you found out that it was by marriage or something like that.
People are like, oh man, that's Ed Reed cousin. Like, bro, this is cousin through marriage. Like, he ain't a drop of Ed Reed blood in his body, bro. It's like people are like, man, he's Ed Reed cousin though. Like, bro, that's not how it works, man. It's not how it works at all.
No, he probably gave some good advice. He probably gave some good advice.
Yeah, some good advice.
He's like, work hard, play hard. Play hard.
Exactly. Hey man, we watching that film. I see you, cousin. You watching that film? That's what
I see you. I see you.
I see you.
That means a lot, bro. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Like if Ed Reed was saying that to me, I was playing football. Like I'm just saying, like, hey, look, that mean a lot. You know what I mean? But yeah, that is hella funny though. They made it seem like they were blood related too. That's crazy, man. You really got to check your sources, man. People be talking. But yeah, let's move it along. Hey, look, man, that's not the only notable quotable. If you want to give the people an intro to the next notable quotable that we have.
Yeah, man. This next notable quotable is from a straight buster. who I've lost all respect for. This dude is running the SIAT, not playing out. It's our general manager, Tom Telesco, who orchestrated one of the most mediocre drafts I've ever seen in my life. He was speaking, and the question came up about the possibility of him drafting the quarterback in the middle rounds, and he had a very interesting answer.
But I was just curious, was there any thought about a quarterback, in these last two?
On the third day, no, really not in the second day either. First day, yes, but not after that.
Is that just where the evaluation kind of?
Yeah, I mean, if we felt there was a quarterback out there that was better than what we had or could potentially be better, certainly would have done something about it, but just that didn't line up.
But I was just curious.
All right. You know what's interesting though? Because I don't want to be like, oh, Tom Telesco this, Tom Telesco that. From all, like, literally 6 quarterbacks win the top 12 picks. When was the next time a quarterback got drafted?
It wasn't until to the fifth, right?
The fifth round.
Two picks after we took Eichenberg, coincidentally.
Yeah, and I think it might have been Jordan Travis.
Did Jordan Travis go before Spencer Rattler?
Either Spencer Rattler or Jordan Travis went first.
I thought Spencer Rattler. I could be wrong. I thought Spencer Rattler went first, but I could be wrong on that.
But either way, that told you the entire NFL and how they viewed the quarterbacks after Bo Nix.
Yeah,
because that he was the last quarterback taken. He was taken in the first round, and then they literally waited into the 5th round to draft a quarterback. So it wasn't just Tom Telesco. They weren't high on Spencer Rattler. And it was kind of interesting with Spencer Rattler. They said a lot of teams held it against him what he did in high school. It was some type of like documentary show. I didn't watch it, but I seen a clip. I seen a clip, and I was like, damn, it does kind of show him like in a bad light. But it's kind of messed up because he like a little kid.
Bro, exactly. He's and the thing is that makes me so if you look at arm talent, right? The 3 best arm talents in this draft were Caleb Williams, Michael Penix, and Spencer Rattler, bar none. You look at and Spencer Rattler did it. Look at his level of competition in the SEC. Look at his supporting cast. He had less to work with than both of those guys in a tougher conference, and he still put up numbers. He still was in there in dogfights with some of the best teams in the nation. So I think he is a guy that, as you said, these teams held it against him what he did as a high school student, and all the South Carolina coaches vouched for him. Said, you know what, he's light years ahead of where he was at that time. He's very mature, one of the leaders on the team. Like, all of them said that, but they still couldn't let go of what he did as a high school student, bro. And it's some stuff I could say about that, but I'm not gonna get into it because that's kind of topic for another day. I don't want this to evolve into something else. But man, there's a reason for it, and we all kind of know why he's being held to a different standard than some of these other quarterbacks get held to. When you're looking at what he did as a high school student.
Yeah, and Raiders Rebel, man, he's throwing a shot out there. He says we're winning the AFC West and going 13-4 with AOC this year. Just my prediction. Hey, early predictions. Who do you think starting? Minshew, AOC? I know it's early, but like just do you think Minshew's gonna be Minshew? You start
Minshew. I think they want AOC to start, but I just think Minshew is gonna. Minshew just
they want AOC to start.
I believe they want AOC. I believe they want AOC to start. My opinion.
You think they want AOC to start when they paid old boy $25 million? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you think
that's
they want him to start?
That's high end backup money. So
I don't know.
It's not nothing too crazy where he couldn't be this. They said Jimmy G ass down. He was making 25. So I don't think. I think they'd prefer AOC to start, but I think that Minshew is going to be the guy that wins the job.
Yeah, man. But now I really thought that the Raiders were going to draft Spencer Rattler at some point, but it didn't happen. And a lot of the league literally passed on Spencer Rattler, and I think it's crazy that off the field stuff. And you know what's crazy too? And I know some of y'all in here, man, wanted Joe Milton. He ends up going to the Patriots, which is a random pickup. Like, That don't even. Does that make any sense to you, man? Like,
They picked up 2 quarterbacks when they pick up any.
yeah, but like that's a weird like. What are you gonna do with a Joe Milton? He needs to be developed, but like, is that the right situation for him to go to? Is go to a team that's gonna be fully invested in developing Drake May, and then you. I don't know, man. I thought that was a weird pickup, but he got picked up in like the second or seventh. I don't know if he got picked up in the 7th round or I think the 6th round, I believe. But yeah, it is what it is.
I think the 6th. I don't recall. I think the 6th, but
Oh,
I mean,
God,
I
man.
think he's a guy. I
Oh, my
mean,
God.
there's a guy that they can develop that they don't feel is going to threaten Drake May early in his career, and they could turn him into a very good backup. I'm pretty sure that's kind of that they're thinking. Kind of
Ooh.
some of the similar skill sets to Drake May, big, strong arm guy, mobile.
Yeah,
Has some of
man.
his same flaws.
I don't
So
do this too often, but I'm about to block someone instantly right now. Instantly. Whew. Let me.
But yeah, man,
get here.
I just find it interesting that at a position I felt is one of our biggest needs, that if we don't get very good play out of, we almost have no chance at winning and having any type of sustained success. I think it's a position that everybody kind of identified that we needed to upgrade, and we didn't do anything to upgrade it at all. Right, outside of attempting to trade up to number 2, attempting to trade up to 8. We did nothing to address that position. And I think that Spencer Rattler is the perfect type of guy that you bring into the building, who has all the talent in the world. At one point, he was a number 1 quarterback recruit in the nation when he was coming out of high school. And, after his first year at Oklahoma, most people thought that he was going to be a projected number 1 overall pick, or at least projected top 10 to 15 pick in the future draft. And for us to pass on him, I think that was malpractice, especially if you pass on him for a linebacker that can't cover. Like, come on. So, I mean,
Right.
do we need another linebacker that can't cover, or do we need a young developmental quarterback that has all the arm talent in the world? I'd rather take my chances on that young quarterback than get a linebacker, who can tackle really well, but can't cover. Like that. How is that helping me? That it's not. So I think that was a mistake right there. And I just think it, and like I said, man, it just shows some of the flaws, and I think of how Tom Telesco approached this draft, because I don't think taking Spencer Rattler in the 5th is a reach, and it's not a reach, right? That is ideally like where you want to pick the guy, and the fact that we passed on him, I think, like I said, man, it was I don't think it was the most intelligent move to make. And I mean, and it's also kind of, even though we tried to trade up to number 8, it might be almost better that we didn't. Because imagine if we traded up to number 8 and took Michael Penix, everybody would be saying like nobody wanted to trade up to number 8. Like, Michael Penix was going to fall to the 2nd round. Like everybody been telling me for months. When I told everybody Michael Penix was top 10 talent in this draft, everybody was telling me he was going to fall to the 2nd round. We could just take Fuaga at 13 and trade back up. I was like, bro, he's not going to be there.
I think after his pro day, I think reality set in and was like, yeah, this dude's not going to the 2nd round.
Yeah, nah. But even after we did our mock, remember we did our mock. We drafted him. We traded up and drafted him at 9. People are like, that was a reach. Why you trading up for him at 9? He's gonna be there. And look what happened.
This makes a little bit of sense. Two Stock says Joe Milton is being talked about as switching to tight end, from what I've heard.
No, the Patriots came out and said they're not doing it. I think Joe Milton's camp came out and said he's not doing it too. So if that was their plan, they must not have talked to Joe Milton or his people, because his people already said that's a no-go.
Oh, he's not switching positions.
He's not switching positions. So his people already said this. So if that was the plan, they obviously didn't talk about it to Joe Milton or his people, because they immediately said no. And I want to say the Patriots said the same thing as well, but I know for sure Joe Milton's camp said he's not switching positions.
I know he has some accuracy issues, but I wouldn't have been mad if the Raiders got him like in the 6th or 7th round. Like,
developmental guy, bro.
Man, just throw him in there, see what happens. Just see what happens. You never know. Like, things might click. You know what I mean? Coaching sometimes matters, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, Joe Milton goes to the Patriots. I thought that was like a surprising pick, but it is what it is, man. But let's move it along, man. Hey, man, that's notable quotables, man. It'll be back here next week. But the next segment is What's real? What's not? Let the people know, man. You know, I'll just start it off, man. I'll just start it off. The Raiders will regret not drafting a QB. Is that real or is it not? Everybody in chat, let me know. Is it real? The Raiders will not regret not drafting a QB. Is that real?
The Raiders will regret not drafting the QB.
The Raiders will regret not drafting a QB.
I think you guys know what I feel about it. No, I think you guys know what I feel about it.
Man, we started off the show by talking about like the disappointment of not getting a quarterback, and we're going into the camp. We're going into training camp basically. Minshew and AOC are going to be the two best quarterbacks on the roster. Second year in a row where the quarterback room is probably.
It's got to be the worst quarterback room.
Is the worst in the league? You think it's the worst in the league?
It's not even close, bro. This is by far the worst quarterback room in the league, bro. Like by a mile, man. By a mile.
Let me think about it. Seattle. Seattle. They got.
Come on, they got Geno Smith. They got Sam Howell, Andrew Luck, and just all those guys.
Don't give me no Drew Lock. Don't give me no Drew Lock. Come on now, like don't.
I'm gonna say outside of Drew Lock, all those guys are probably better than the guys we have on our roster.
Cardinals, they got Carly Murray. San Francisco, Purdy, I don't know. Purdy's kind of overrated.
Atlanta got Cousins and Penix. Miami has Tua. The Jets got Aaron Rodgers. Like, even Daniel Jones, bro. You asked me if I'm taking Daniel Jones, AOC, or Gardner Minshew, bro. I'm taking Daniel Jones every single day of the week. Oh, come on, bro. Don't. Daniel Jones has a playoff win on his and not like he was like gifted a playoff win that he took them to the playoffs and then carried them to the win. So it wasn't like he was like alone for the ride.
He took them to the playoffs. I don't know. That's a little too strong. I don't think he took them to the playoffs.
He took them to the playoffs.
I think he got a coach that was a good offensive minded coach that was able to like cater to his strengths a little bit, and he got a couple of runs, used his legs, but he didn't take him to the playoffs though, man. He didn't take him to the playoffs. When you say take him to the playoffs, I'm thinking Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, or Joe Burrow.
That's why contract.
You can't compare them. You just can't compare Daniel Jones to those types of quarterbacks, because when you say
I'm not comparing him to those quarterbacks. I'm comparing him to the quarterbacks on our roster. He's way better than anybody we have on our roster. Come on, bro. You can't even. Come on, man.
Because I don't think Daniel Jones is that good. Personally, I don't think Daniel Jones is that good.
He's not. But he's still way better than anybody we have on our roster.
I'm surprised.
That's the problem.
I'm surprised the Giants didn't even draft quarterback. To be honest with you, I thought Michael Penix could have went there.
Daniel Jones is not that good,
but he's getting paid all that money.
Way better than anybody we have.
All right, so you got the Giants. The Eagles got Jalen Hurts. The Cowboys. All right, okay. Damn. Man, the Bears, they just drafted Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Green Bay, Jordan Love looks like the truth.
Pittsburgh got Russell Wilson. Like, come on, bro.
Well, Pittsburgh, their quarterback
Russell Wilson's
room,
better than their starter is better, but Justin Fields dragged the whole room down. What you about to say about
Justin Fields? What you say
about he drags the whole room. He drags the whole room down, bro. He drags the whole room down. But yeah.
Oh man, that AFC South. Let's go AFC South. AFC South. Jaguars.
Yes.
Okay, Lawrence.
Come on. Trevor Lawrence, CJ Stroud.
Colts. Anthony Richardson.
Come on, man. Let's move on. We got to move on. Let's go ahead and move on.
I'm trying to think, man. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of damn, the Raiders do. The Raiders. Even
NFC South got Bryce Young. Like he's a guy you could see potential in.
Damn. The Raiders have the worst quarterback room in the NFL.
Bro, it's not even close, man. Not even close, bro. It's not even close.
But the fact is, like, I'm sure there's probably another team that has a bad quarterback room, but it's just the fact that I gotta think this hard. I gotta think about it and go through each division, and like this should tell you everything you need to know. Like, that's definitely going to be a position where they're going to definitely upgrade in 2025. Like, it's without a doubt. But in the meantime, fill out the roster, get better, get more depth, get better as a team. So it is what it is. It's just going to take longer than expected. But I'm not too excited about next year's draft class at QB. I'm not going to lie. Like,
I'm not either.
I mean, Shedeur Sanders, dude from Texas. I don't know.
Quinn Ewers, Beck from Georgia, possibly. People like Cam Ward. I don't know about him. I like the guy from Arizona, Fafada. I always say his name wrong. I like
the thing
him.
is, if any of these guys ball out and look good next year and develop, where do the Raiders have to be in order to get those quarterbacks? We're going to be in the same position because we're going to be trying to win this year. Oh, man, that's a tough
Oh my God! Watch. We be like, watch. We have like the 19th or 20th pick. It's like, man, but this. I see Tom Telesco now. Like, hear me out, guys. This tight end I see, man. This is tight end coming out, man. He's a hell of a weapon. Like, come on, dog. Come on, brother.
Man, people saying it's not. AJ Sim says too early to answer that question. J Dog says real because they couldn't.
Yeah, it's not too early to answer that question.
You know what I mean? Space sees no regrets. Raiders Rebel says Caps. Raiders, hey, good point. You can't regret something that was unattainable. That's true.
No, that's what unattainable. We couldn't get one of the top like 6 guys. There are other quarterbacks later on in the draft that you could have taken as developmental projects,
right? If
nothing else, bro. Like what I think it was Bill Parcells that said you take a quarterback every single year at some point in the draft. You know, it has to be a high pick, but you take one every single year until you have a guy that's your guy. You know, like what if what if San Francisco was like Brock Purdy? Like we don't need this guy, or the Patriots like Tom Brady guy. We got Drew Bledsoe. We don't need a quarterback. Like, what are we doing, right? Let's get this linebacker out of, Wichita State or something crazy like that, right? Like, you take a quarterback every year, even if it's a developmental guy. You take a guy until you find the guys that fit on your roster. We didn't do that.
Right. Reese Rock, man. Hey, man, good reminder. We picked up Gallup. We did. Let me go ahead and share this page real quick. We did pick up. Let's see right here. Let me see. Man, this is getting cropped out like crazy. Let me see if I can. Man, this is crazy. Anyways, let me get back to it. But we did pick up Michael Gallup, wide receiver, former Cowboy, for a 1 year, $3 million deal. I hope. Does he have any juice left? Can he run still, or have injuries caught up to him, man? Because if he could be a deep threat, possibly, maybe. I'm praying. You know what I mean? Because we do need some speed, man.
Michael
I know
Gallup
Trey Tucker got some speed.
Training room.
Say it again.
It's like only place Michael Gallup finna be deep is in the training room, like, every week, because this dude stays hurt, bro.
Always hurt.
And we better hope our boy Delmar Glaze stays healthy, because I think I read he had 2 ACLs in high school, so we'll see how that pick goes.
Raiders Rebel says, "Oh my God, you're high, bro. Come on, you're just hating now."
Nah, I'm not a homer, bro. I keep it real. Some people don't like to hear realism. They like, well, you want me to say that the Raiders are going to go 17-0 and AOC is going to win the MVP, and that's not how this works, bro. I keep it real.
No, for real. Like I'm really trying to figure out what's a worse quarterback room than the Raiders. Like I really want to. I'm really trying to think about it. I'm live right now, so I got a lot of things that I'm looking at and trying to control and all that type of stuff. So when y'all in the chat making comments, y'all really help me out. Like I'm looking at comments, y'all give me some ideas and stuff like that. Let me know. What is there a worse quarterback room than the Raiders? And we try to go to each division. We want AFC North, AFC South, AFC East. You know, the Jets got Aaron Rodgers, Dolphins, Bills, Patriots. But they just added Drake May, so
You know what? We did add a guy. We did add a guy. Gus Bradley's son.
Carter Bradley, undrafted free agent.
Carter Bradley.
SoCal Sal says Geno Smith sucks. Geno Smith sucs.
Geno Smith led the NFL in completion percentage like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man.
People say, see what I'm talking about, bro. People will say something like that and be like, but the AOC is that guy though.
I'm not saying Geno Smith is like the best quarterback. What I'm saying is, what have the quarterbacks that we have done compared to the other quarterbacks for you to say that they're better? Like Geno Smith has done with Seattle, at least he's kind of have a career resurgence. Like he's played well with them for the most part, but obviously, can they upgrade that quarterback position? Yeah, they got Sam Howell, who at one point was leading the league in passing yards last year. So, you know, it is what it is, man. Damn, bro, you see people like hey, come on, let us know. I'm gonna go through the chat. I'm gonna try to see what. Yeah, Daniel Jones. I'm not gonna lie. Come on, bro. The Giants. Daniel Jones
better than Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connor, bro. It's not even a question, bro. The fact some people say this wild ass stuff, bro. Like,
hey,
what?
I ain't gonna lie. Daniel Jones is ass though. He's ass.
He's ass, and he's way better than AOC and Gardner Minshew. Like, bro, it's not even a question. That's not even a question. Like the fact that people question that lets me know people like it's crazy.
Raiders Rebel got you here. He got you here.
Oh man, he got me. No, he got me that one. He got me. Nah, he got me right there. Nah, facts, bro, facts. That is. Hey, you know what? Hey, bro, he got me with that one. That is. Hey,
yeah, because
you got to give him.
You've been talking about McCarthy being like.
You got to give him a shot. You got to give him a shot with that one. That was a sniper shot.
Man.
That was a sniper shot, bro. That was a Call of Duty
Rebel, man.
That was a Call of Duty sniper shot, bro. He got me with that one. That's fact.
But
I have no faith in Judge McCarthy.
But even then, like you got to really think about it. Yeah, at the very least you could say that the Raiders have one of the worst.
Yeah.
QB, which is it is what it is. They got a journeyman quarterback. He's been a backup for most of his career. AOC's still trying to prove himself. He's a 4th-round rookie quarterback going into his 2nd year. And last year, some people made good points about AOC. Like, do you even count last year? It was so much chaos. He didn't have a real offensive coordinator. He half the time he probably didn't know what he was doing. Like, he had to make something out of nothing. He wasn't even prepared to play last year. I mean, and I'm not taking anything away from him. It's just that he's still growing as a player. So, the Raiders quarterback situation. But it might be a surprise this year because last year, what were we saying before we going into the NFL season? We're like, oh man, our offense is set. Our defense is the question mark. Our offense is set. Our defense is a question mark. What happened? Our defense was lights out. Our offense was trash. So NFL is hella unexpected. So you don't know what's going to happen. Man. Man, people in the chat, man, it's crazy. But hey, let's move it on to we not done. We not done. Hey, Raiders Rebel, shout out to you, man. Hey, man, that was a good one, man. You had Severe Raiders stuck. Yeah,
that was facts, bro. That was facts, bro. He definitely came through with the sniper shot on that one, bro. I couldn't even say nothing about that.
All right, the second, what's real, what's not. The Raiders did enough in the draft to improve the roster. Is that real or is it not? So I'm gonna repeat it again. The Raiders did enough in the draft to improve the roster. Is that real or is that not?
I said it's real. I think they improved, but the question is, did they improve in the correct areas? Did they improve enough in the areas that they needed to improve at, right? Like, we're coming into this draft, the areas of the greatest concern were at quarterback. Did we do enough in the draft to improve at quarterback? No. The other area of concern was cornerback opposite of Jack Jones. Did we do enough in this draft to improve at cornerback opposite of Jack Jones? No. Other area of concern was the right side of the line. Well, we did address right guard, and I think we got a hell of a player at right guard. I don't think we did enough to address right tackle, right? And we were worried about Michael Penix ACLs. He had 2 ACLs. Delmar Glaze had 2 ACLs. The difference is that Michael Penix plays quarterback. You don't expect him to ever get hit. Delmar Glaze is playing a position where there's going to be guaranteed contact on every play. There are going to be guys that that could potentially land and fall at his feet. That happens consistently to offensive linemen, like guys diving into their legs, doing all that kind of stuff. So while your quarterback has 2 ACLs, sure, you don't expect him to get hit. Every single play, offensive linemen are making contact with other people. So he's going to have to drive off those knees on every single play. When you run in zone schemes, there's a lot of cutting involved. You have to dive and make dynamic movements all the time as offensive lineman. So I'm much more worried about an offensive lineman with ACLs than I am a quarterback with ACLs. That's just the truth of it all. So I think we improved our overall talent. I mean, Brock Bowers is one of the most talented guys in this draft. Jackson Powers-Johnson, one of the most talented guys in this draft. But I don't think we did enough on the areas that were of greatest concern.
Raider Tape in the building, man. Appreciate you coming through, man. Hey, man, hopefully we get you back soon, man. We got to get you on the show. He says Jordan Love took Packers to the playoffs. He did, man. He did, man. Like, hey, man, like I said, like, it's hard to argue that the Raiders might have one of the worst quarterback, positions in the league. Like, their quarterback room is one of the worst in the league. And that's how it was last year. They went into the season with Jimmy G, Brian Hoyer, and a 4th-round rookie in AOC, and now they replaced that with, a journeyman backup quarterback in Minshew and AOC. Hopefully he takes that next step. We'll see. It's a long offseason. We'll see what happens, man. But AJ Simpson says it's cap. Are you saying that it's cap, like meaning the Raiders didn't improve their roster?
Is that recent? Is that from a while ago?
That might be from earlier, because I don't think. I totally disagree, Raiders. I totally disagree. No, I think this might from earlier. I think this conversation from earlier, man. I got to catch up on the chat. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. They just put up Minshew. They just put up Minshew stats. Where? Oh, man. Oh, you know what? The Saints? He got you there.
I would say. I would say that. I'm not going to Packers yet. I think Bryce Young has way more potential than anybody we have on our roster.
Yeah. No, I like Bryce Young still. The Vikings is a huge question mark.
The Saints is a question mark, but I'm taking Spencer Rattler over AOC. I'm not taking Spencer Rattler over Gardner Minshew though, so I'll give you that. And Jacksonville, bro, Trevor Lawrence is way better. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Yeah, you tripping, bro. I give
you the Saints. The Saints is hella like.
I give you the Saints just because of Gardner Minshew, just because I think Gardner Minshew is better than Spencer Rattler. Spencer Rattler's better than Aiden O'Connell, bro. That's just facts.
And he not gonna even mention Derek Carr. That's crazy.
Yeah, but I didn't mention Derek Carr. They trying to get rid of Derek. They're trying to get up off. Derek Carr is gone next year, bro. Derek Carr he's done.
You could tell they're trying to get it. They're trying to find a plan B.
Bro, they tried
as soon as possible.
They tried to trade.
They really try to trade up. New England, Drake May.
They got Drake May, bro. Got Drake May. But I'm not a Drake May fan.
It's still improving. What it is unproven commodity, though. It is an unproven commodity. And what are the things that a lot of teams were talking about with Drake May coming out? He has a lot to work on. He has to develop his footwork, yada, yada, yada.
But he has a lot to work with.
A lot to work with?
Yeah, he has a lot to work on, but he has a lot to work with. I mean, he has a lot of raw physical talent.
Well, he has talent, but hey, how about the talent around him too? The talent around him is not high. On top of him, need to develop himself. There might be some growing pains, is what I'm trying to say. Even with Minnesota, as much as you might want to get on J.J. McCarthy,
he has a hell of a squad around him.
Ooh, the support
outside of his running game though
is crazy.
Outside of his running, who did they draft a running back? I don't recall.
Who you talking about? Minnesota?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look. I mean, if you want to look at it, their draft class real quick. Let's see. Let's move on. You can't just move on. Compare these quarterbacks you're saying are better than Garner and AOC. But Raiders Rebel, man, like you just named like two. There's like two or three. And then there's 32 other teams. So like if you had to do a ranking system, like are Raiders in the middle of the pack or at the top?
Yeah.
They're closer to the bottom than they are.
The bottom 5 for sure.
Yeah, man. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Let's be honest.
Bottom 5 for sure.
I already know you was about to say defense, right? I already know. Should have went defense first round. Keep building till you just need a QB.
I would have been cool, bro. I would have been cool if we traded back to 19 and grabbed Quinion Mitchell, bro. That's ideal. That's a perfect move.
Hey, Raid, who was your number one corner? I know you big on corners. Who was your number one corner last draft? I'm not sure if you you were looking at some of the draft prospects this draft, but like, who was your number one corner? Was it Terrion Arnold? Was it Keon Mitchell? Let us know, man. Let us know, man. Don't like this move. What if they add? Oh hell nah, not Tannehill. Come on now.
Oh come on, bro.
Nah,
come on, bro.
He's done. He's done. His arm. You seen some of the games that he was playing? Like you could tell, like he's on his last legs. Let's see. We always sign some vet. We always sign some vet receiver who don't do shit besides Adam. Nah, man. I don't think that's that big a deal to sign because we need some receiver depth. Be honest with you. I'd rather get speed but I don't know if Michael Gallup's going to be the guy to provide that. Old School says Tom said the other QBs weren't better than what we have on the roster right now. Woo. Hey man. You think that's him? You think that's him telling the truth or?
Nah, bro, that's all cap. That's all cap, bro. That's all cap. It was close enough to where it's like, of course, that's what he's gonna say. He's gonna say that because who are the guys who he has on his roster, and who are the guys he doesn't? Think of the situation where it was close enough where he's like, you know what? If it's close enough in terms of talent, I'm gonna just address other needs. You know, because if they're not that much better, or if they're basically equal, I'd rather go somewhere else than use it on a quarterback. Which is hey, if that's the calculation he made, that's fine. But I disagree. Like I said, I think Spencer Rattler way better than Ed O'Connell.
Hey man, Cool Cat be trying to. Bro, he's too funny, man. Let's see. Reese Rock says Minshew at least won 9 games. Dan Jones not winning 4 games with that Colts team. Yeah, man, Daniel Jones is ass, man. I don't know about that. Like, I can't even defend Daniel Jones like he's like a good starting quarterback. He's not that. He hasn't put together back-to-back years of productivity. Like I can't. What that one year? That's actually what year?
Has Gardner Minshew?
You know what? Let's put it this way. Let's go to that year that you're talking about. What year was the year that you're talking about? That where he led them to the playoffs and had a great year. I want to see what he did.
But I don't even remember what year it was, bro. It was 2 years ago.
It wasn't last year. It was probably the year before, 2022, right? It was 2022. I want to see this, man. 2022, Daniel Jones. Real quick, man. Appreciate everybody coming through. Hey, make sure to clock in, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, hit that notification bell. We're going live on both our channels. Make sure to subscribe to both channels and hit that like button. We appreciate everybody coming through, man. Come on, hit that like button. Come on, it's so simple, man. Just hit the thumb, man. It's so simple. And if you haven't subscribed, man, do that as well, man, so we can keep dropping this content. Hold on one second. Let me pull this up. Daniel Jones 2022 season, because that's the year they went to the playoffs. And he got a extension that offseason.
Yep.
Let me see what he did. 15 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Come on, man.
Was his quarterback rating of a 92.5?
You thought it was this?
That boy is good.
You thought it was that, huh?
That boy is good.
And he rushed for 708 yards, 7 touchdowns.
All right, look, okay, that counts too. You got to account for rushing yards.
rushed for 708 yards. So he put up what 400,000 total yards, 22 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions, 92 or 93 quarterback rating.
Oh, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that's the offensive coordinator coming from the Bills.
And also, who was his number one receiver? What receivers did he have on that team? He had no receivers that year. Slayton was hurt all year. He had no receivers. Basically, he had no receivers.
I don't know, man. Where do you rank Daniel Jones in the quarterback? Bottom? He's a bottom quarterback.
Wherever AOC and Minshew
it's like we arguing about we arguing about trash. We arguing about trash.
Yeah, he's one above them. So if wherever AOC, he's like.
We arguing about trash quarterback. Damn, man, this is sad. This is
Daniel
sad.
Jones.
We gonna stop this conversation.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying he's good. I'm just saying he's better than them.
What did Minshew do? Let's look at Minshew's numbers last year.
I got Minshew, but I got Minshew better than Aiden O'Connell. I think Minshew put up a fight, but Minshew also had weapons though. Minshew also had Josh Downs and Michael Pittman and Jonathan Taylor, so he had weapons. Daniel Jones basically it was him and Saquon.
What AOC had Myers, Devontae
exactly.
Adams.
I'm saying they had weapons. That's my point.
You mean compared to Daniel Jones?
Exactly. That's my point. They had weapons. Daniel Jones had absolutely no weapons. They still don't really have a whole lot of weapons at wide receiver.
I don't know why I can't even agree with you with the Daniel Jones. He's just nothing.
Bro. If you put Aiden O'Connell on that team, bro,
one of the worst contracts too, by the way, in the NFL.
If you put
one of the worst contracts.
Put Aiden O'Connell on that team. What does Aiden O'Connell do? Put Aiden O'Connell on that team. What does Aiden O'Connell do? Aiden O'Connell struggled with Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, and Michael Mayer, and the running back averaging 6.5 yards per carry.
Do you expect Aiden O'Connell to be better this year than last year? You expect him to be better?
I don't expect him to start. So I mean, that's negligible. I expect Minshew to win the starting job. I think Gardner Minshew is a better player than him.
I know, man. Fuck. I'm just trying to breathe some life into this Raiders team, this quarterback room. But yeah, man. Hey, look, man. It's been a great show, man. We appreciate everybody coming through. We just wanted to chop it up with y'all and just talk football, man. It's right. Literally, we didn't get a chance to recap the draft. We were in Vegas, kind of enjoying everything, reacting to things as they come. But we appreciate everybody coming through. Like I said, hit that like button, y'all. Man, it's so simple, man. Hit that like button, subscribe. If you have subscribed, hit that notification bell. Now it's from here on out.
Kev, I'm about to cook your ass in a minute, bro. So I just
cool Kev be throwing some shots
in a minute, bro. So just look, come on that down, bro. You about to get cooked in a minute, brother. So, you about to get straight dissected, man. So chill.
Oh man, hey man, cool Kev be throwing shots. I already know. But it's all love, man. It's all love. But hey, look, at the end of the day, man, hey, look, it's been a great show. We were able to get into the draft, how we felt about it. Hey, like I said, my first reaction, I was disgusted. A couple days went by, cooler heads prevail. We were able to get some good players, some plug-in starters. And hey, man, we'll see how it shakes out, man. You can't really judge the draft off of like the first few days. It's going to take about like 2 or 3 years where you can look back at it and be like, all right, where are these guys at? You know what I mean? Like, are they still in the NFL, man? And we got someone, we got a last minute super chat, man. My guy, Reese Rock, man. I appreciate you, my guy. Okay. Severe is the lawyer every criminal needs.
Hey, bro, facts. Hey, I take that as a compliment. But yeah, man. I think we got some of the best set of weapons in the league right now, man. I think we got some of the best weapons in the league.
Severe like this, man. Hold on.
Tell them to bring me my money.
Hey, man. Hey, look. Like I said, it's been a great show. Any last thoughts, man? Severe, you want to let people know like where they can find you, what to look forward to this offseason. I mean, now the draft is over. We got our. Is there something to look forward to? Are we gonna be making any moves? Because we do have some cap space coming up too. By the way, we didn't even touch on that. But what should the people look forward to?
I mean, I think at this point we get a whole bunch of money coming up in free agency after June 1st. We get that Jimmy G money hits, so hopefully we can be big players in the second round of free agency. Fill out the roster. Hopefully, add something at DB. Xavier Howard is still out there. Still a few other guys out there as well. I know some people like Stephon Gilmore. I'm not really too high on that, but I think we can really add some more to the second round. Look forward to this QB competition. I think we have some of the best offensive weapons in the league right now. So whoever we get at quarterback, I think they're coming into a very, very good situation, man. So looking forward to see what we do. Hopefully we see a big leap from AOC, or we see Gardner Minshew even take it up a step further from what he did last year with the coach, where he almost led that team. Very talented offensive team, but still he took over 4 games in and almost led him to a playoff berth. So hoping we do something, man. Trying to stay positive, man. But it's difficult, man. Trying to stay positive, man, but it's difficult.
Hey, man, the chat is hilarious, man. Y'all funny as hell. But hey, like I said, hey, look, the off season's not over. We still have some moves to make. I think that $24 million is still coming up from Jimmy G. I think we're gonna add add a veteran corner. I can see that happening right now. Like, I don't think we're going to go into training camp with what we have right now. Like, it doesn't make any sense. We got a lot of inexperience. There's a lot of question marks. We don't know for sure. I think it's safe to assume with Stevie Nelson, I believe Xavier Howard, and I think the corner that played for the Cowboys last year, veteran corner, that we should have got like a couple years back. For some reason, he went to the Colts. Former Patriot, former Defensive Player of the Year. I don't know why name's not coming to me right now. But anyways, there's some veteran corners. Stephon Gilmore is still available. He's a little older, still longer in the tooth, but it's a veteran corner option. He's still available. But I think the Raiders is probably going to make I think they might add one of those corners, man. I think it's around that time, and they're gonna get some money, and I don't think it's gonna be that much too. By the way, it's probably gonna be like less than $6 million. I don't think more than that. Maybe less than $7 million. At this point, it's that time. They're not going to get paid. It's going to be a 1-year deal. But that being said, hey, man, I have fun going to the draft, man, by the way. I have fun going to Vegas. Hopefully, the next time we do something like this, we'll be able to see more of the nation. We'll give you guys, plenty in advance to prepare for something like this, so y'all can come through, show some love, support, all that good stuff, man. Hey, it's been a great show. We'll be back here again this week. We'll be we're gonna be touching bases with Big Mike this week.
Facts,
so be on the lookout for that. It's gonna be later this week, this Thursday, and obviously every Monday, 50-50 show at 8 p.m. Just let us know. Yeah, for sure. Marty Mart. Yeah, you already know, man. You already know Vegas was lit for sure.
Yeah, man. Appreciate Marty Mart, man. Giving us the scoops, man. We was working, man. Marty Mart was dropping dimes in our ear, man. Like, yo, this is going on.
Hey, y'all messing with Severe, man. Severe ain't gonna play with you. He ain't playing with y'all, bro. Man.
Look. You better tell these dudes how big I am, how tall I am, bro. I'm 6'4", 220, bro.
Hey, no, Severe, hey, man. I was kind of surprised when I seen him, man. He's like 6'4", 6'5", man. Like, hey, but man, he cool. It's all love. Man. It's all love. We having a good time. We all joking around and stuff like that. But at the end of the day,
except for Cool Kev gonna get cooked, man. So,
hey, Cool Kev, man. Be cool. Nah, I'm messing with you. Hey, look. Like I said, it's been a great show. We appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to hit that like button on the way out. Clock in, clock out at this point, basically. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Let me go ahead and take us out. I already know Severe got some last minute stuff to say. So hold up. Let's yeah, forget it.
Just win, baby. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.